G'day, Musak. Just give me a few moments to look at the charts. Look at the total market cap, old chart. You can see the fib levels come into play. Also formation, so it looks like a bit of a support there. RSI's overextended on the daily. It's looking good. So I would keep that as a historical record. So this is total market cap resistance at the moment, this level, which makes sense. So we'll need to break that for the bull run to continue. Looks bullish enough. Might find support here, right there. So if this pulls back, it might come down to this level. We think it'll go up. Somewhere in that range. This is an ideal situation where it bounces off. If it pulls back that much, it'd be an ideal situation for a lot of momentum, because you can see historically that area has been a lot of resistance. So we can see here, this level here, support and resistance, and it's got confluence all the way along all this range. So if it pulls back there, it's really nice to have, rather than just keep going up straight. But who knows? We've seen some real bullish moves in the past with this bull run, and if this is wave 3 to 4, then there's no reason why it can't do the same. Anyway, so welcome. Just having a quick look at total market cap, and what we have is two bearish candles on the daily on the total market cap. That will suggest that we could have a 2 more days potentially. How far it will go down is a question. Let's have a look Fibonacci wise. So okay, so here will be a nice spot there on the 0.382 retracement, or the 0.5. 0.5 is very strong support. Question is how much is going to pull back. Don't know. All right, so I'll leave that one there. Bitcoin dominance. I'll go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. Bitcoin dominance, you can see I had the scenario where we could have, and this was my thinking, if this was to break up, it was going to go down like that. So we'll have that top off. This was my main resistance level, but it might just go, what it seems to be doing is down, or break this and then down. So the alts are about to kick in. I think it's because Bitcoin's dropping, I think Bitcoin's about to drop, that we'll have this bounce. How high would this bounce go from the support line? So it's on the fib level as well as this supporting slope. So I do think there's going to be a bullish candle, which suggests that Bitcoin's going to drop a bit and the alts will drop as well. Where it bounces to is the question, would it go all the way up? Or would it, I think it will be between these two lines with this confluence. So if this seems to be an ascending wedge, and the breakdown will potentially give the alt market a go. If it breaks this slope, this is where I will flip my alt Bitcoin completely. So that is my reference point. This line here is when to change my Bitcoin into the alts. So that's my thinking at the moment. Okay, so I can close that. Now let's look at Bitcoin. I'll pick another chart. So I believe a lot of us are familiar with this supporting slope line. This one here. So that is our, and it's been proven to be support all the way, especially here. So that was our support, and now we've broken support. So that's what, it doesn't surprise me why this has just dropped from, nearly 41,000 to this 39,000. You can see how the fib levels are becoming in play for the bounces. Now let's have a look at what these are. Is it the macro or is it the micro? So okay, so it's currently in the micro level. It's playing support. And you can see the impulse from top to bottom. I have this impulse as well, which is the what is it? The blue one. So I do see Bitcoin potentially coming down because we've had many days of green, and I do see that this is a channel or wedge, right? But I do see this more so to break down, bounce, break down. My area of interest is around there. Potentially this one here, this macro fib level, and then so it does have confluence there. So we're going to look at other moving averages and so on. Let's see how that takes place. So yes, Bitcoin, I believe, is likely to pull back, but not too much because the market's very bullish. So if you look at the daily, so that was my range for resistance. This one here, the red line was my main one, this one here. So that's pretty much hit the bottom. Yeah, on the daily, it's pretty much it, the resistance. So it did work out. That was purely because of this level here. and here as well. There's a few reasons for that, as well as the fib level. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So the chart is respecting the macro, this here. So I'll need to, I think this is it there. So if I push this up to the body, across, and maybe use that wick, the bottom of that wick, it's close enough. Maybe I just use that. Doesn't quite work out, does it? Let's see. That's it there. So that's perfect. So it hits a 0.382 as resistance, and doesn't surprise me. If we were to flip this the other way, let me see what it does. Pretty much, yeah. So then we didn't go really that high until the 0.382. What we want to see is this here, get rejection there. So this is the main target, this area here, and then we've got to see what happens. So yeah, I do see what's taking place is the ABC really. That's it. Just got to change the colors. So we had our A, B, C, and now we're having our 1, 2, potentially 3. This could be anywhere, right? And that's when the battle is going to happen. Now, if you look at this chart on the daily, let's pull out some moving averages. Let's get the weekly. Hold on. The 20 weekly moving average. There we go. Let's just add the 20 weekly moving average. Okay. I would have thought it would be higher than that. So the 20-week moving average is there. Let's get rid of some of these. I'm getting confused with these lines. All right, that's the 20 moving weekly average, the green one there. This one here, let's put that as a 200 daily. Okay, the 200 dailies there. Okay, so we need to break that, the 200. The 20 moving average is there. So let's put the 20, that's a 20 EMA, okay. I want the 20 moving average, not the EMA. 20. And I'll make that weekly. Okay. There we go. So when to go really, confirmation is what we're after, right? So that's the 20 weekly moving average, which is always been used as a reference point for bull market, bear market. We've got the 200 moving average, and then we've got the 20 EMA. So the 20 EMA is already underneath, acting as support right here now. And that might be enough. So it might not pull back. So let's look at the indicators, all right? So the MACD is still bullish, just pulling back a bit, which is fine. If I add the Phoenix, give me a sec. If I look on the Phoenix, it's very bullish. Still, the green's coming down. So how low would this go is the question. That doesn't really give us much, except for this. We haven't got the crossover yet, so that will confirm. But we've got the 20. Yeah, so we've got this crossover. This is dropping, but the red is really high, so it's still bullish. At this point, I would suggest that the 20 moving average on the EMA, this level we will probably see a bounce. Probably a bounce. How high would it go? Don't know, but I do see it coming down to this level here, probably around there, which is about what, 38. If we drop the 38, then we come down to the 36, 35 range. So this is, the market's been very bullish, and it's surprised a lot of people as to how much pullback there would be. So this is the hard part. I'm looking to put the rest in, but it's not easy to figure out where the pullback is. So this is my area of interest. Now, if I was to put the, what is it? The 10 and 20 moving average ribbon in there. Okay, so that's my area there. Okay, that's my area of interest at the moment with the 10 and 20 moving average. So this pullback, if it pulls back to this cradle position, this is what I'm looking for, a cradle trade. We've got a trend, a daily trend now happening. And so the strategy of trading is going to be the daily trading, daily, what do you call it, trend trade. Okay, so now we're going to move with the no more what do you call it, formation trading, because we've broken out of the formation, and now we're looking at trends. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days of greens, and now we're having the reds. What you can say that is 1, 2, probably 3 to 4 candles on the daily, which makes sense at this point. And somewhere here is where I'm going to go most in, and hopefully, so you can see this back line that has a lot of confluence and support right here. No, I didn't want to do that. Come on. This line here, you can see on the daily, is just a lot of support. So the top, I expect the top of that to be very strong support, and anything in between is the opportunity. So leverage, this is where the leverage comes in. Hopefully they don't. I think leverage traders will come in here, and I'll be one of them, and going long with high leverage. So this is my concern. There's technical analysis, and then there's trading, which is being looking at the environment with factoring other manipulation and other strategies where what is obvious could be a setup for being liquidated. So you've got to be careful. So that is the plan. I will look at what's happening at the time on the 4-hourly and the candlesticks to give me confidence to go high leverage and go long to this spot here, to this area here, and I'll take some profit from there. And then if it continues on, well, I'll leave the rest in. But historically, we've seen this could really go strong, similar to this fractal here. Okay, so I'm looking at it from a point of view of, at this point, this area here could be something similar to that. You know, we had a consolidation. I'm not factoring that in. Although this is an uptrend, it's still a consolidation in potentially an uptrend. Yeah. So if this could continue going on, then it can resemble something like this, and then another pullback, and that might be here or just above it. The market really depends what the market's going to do. We can plan, but our job is to monitor what's going on. So if you look at from that perspective, an example is another example here we had this long consolidation, yep, for the bull market to start. That this area is, you can say, similar to that, right? This was an accumulation area. We ignore this, which is COVID, but this was an accumulation area, and then we had the bull market run. So this pause could be that pause there. I'm not saying the same formation, but similar. So the psychology is what I'm looking at the moment. And early days, but definitely I'm not selling my Bitcoin. What I bought low here, I'm not selling. I don't think if it comes down to here, then it's definitely going to go further down. So if we come to revisit here, that's not a good sign. If it comes down here, that's tolerable right here. So that is a tolerable area. Just looking from a bearish perspective. If it was to come down to here, that's okay. Yep. That area is acceptable as well. But the way this is moved, I don't think it will pull back that much. And if it does, hold your coins, because this is a bull market run, I believe. And the market's pretty much up there as well in that sentiment. Okay, so the 20 moving average on the weekly could be our main resistance, along with the fib level. So we've got to see what happens here as time goes. So if this pulls back continuously, if it breaks decisively above this level, then we can see that as support to keep going up. So yeah, the 20 moving, if we break the 20 moving average decisively, we can see as support and to go up. If we find resistance, then we probably come down double top maybe, and then that's a scenario as well. So these are the things I'm thinking of at the moment. All right, let me look at the content comments. Micro fib, I think about 36k. Yeah, that I agree. 36k is good. 35, 36k is what I'm looking at. I doubt it will go that low, 35k, but it's possible. I have 35,500 as the lowest it might go. And anyway, that is my perspective at this point. So let's look at from another perspective, the micro picture. You can see here, this could be used on the 1 hour chart. No, it's 30 minutes, is that? Sorry, 30-minute chart to continuously trade this on the small time frame. So this indicator is the volume oscillator. So the volume oscillator comes in handy. Let's see if I got it here. No, don't have it here. So if I was to go to the daily on this, you can see the volume oscillator is coming down, which shows you a bearish divergence along with the RSI. So we can see the RSI has hit this level, but historically, if you look at the trend, so let's look at this trend and see if we can pick up some lessons. So you can see even with this macro bull run, from here you can see how we hit the top, and this, as long as the RSI stays up in above 50%, so we've got this 50% level here. Yeah, that's our 50% level. As long as it stays above that, the bull, this market's still going to keep going up. So the RSI is likely to just oscillate, you know, keep going, and that will continue the uptrend. So what we're looking for is that on the daily, and it's already looking like a bit of a curve there already, isn't it? So this is starting to curve. Let's look on the smaller time frame. Not there yet. So this, you can see this RSI pretty much finding support along that line there at the moment. And that supports some type of downward channel. and I would use that on the daily. So if this was to break about above this, that will be 100% in with leverage potentially. So if this continues to go down, I'd like to see this. We'll see what happens. It could be another line that could be like that, but we need to keep an eye on that one, with along with other indicators. At the moment, that's what I got on the RSI, on the daily. I'll use that for the time being, just to gauge what's going on. A, B, C, D, E. Yep. So I think we'll come down close to this level here, this level here, for support in that zone around here to find support, the RSI on the daily. Okay. Can you put fib ret on your yearly RSI? Not sure what I mean by that. I'll get to it. So let's go to this chart. So that's let's look at the weekly, right? How are we traveling on the weekly? I just don't want to see that on the weekly. Okay, so you can see how we got rejection on the weekly main target. So that came in. That definitely worked. Even though we wicked up, that's definitely, as I said in the weekly chart, the main target, 100%. So the weekly does play a fair weekly support and resistance is a good tool. So you should use that on a regular basis. And you can see how we just hit the top of the, so I'm going to use this chart. It's making a lot of sense to gauge where the targets are. So that's our 20 weekly moving average, I believe. Yep. And this is the 10 and 20 moving average, or EMA, this band. And you can see how the 20, so the battle is really with this 20 weekly moving average. We need to break that between this zone here, from there to there is our battleground. We need to break that. So that is the 20 weekly moving average and the daily 20 moving average. That is, this band here will hold us back. As this goes sideways, this will get compressed, and this main target will be main resistance. So the squeeze will be coming to here as this goes sideways. So we need to break it for confirmation of the bull market. So what we have, this could go sideways. Look, if you look at the weekly, it can go sideways a fair bit. Until we break this, the bull market's not really started in my mind. So let's see how we have two nice weekly. Now, look, if you look on the monthly, it's a good month. It's an engulfing month. So the monthly, every time we have these what are called hammer candles, the red ones, it's usually followed by a green one. So some sort of a hammer and a bullish green candle like that gives you that up run. We have this here, a bit of a hammer, and then a green, followed by two greens after a red. The hammer is down there, so that was a bottom. And even if we look further elsewhere, we had a hammer, and then an engulfing green candle, and the bull market. So it's the monthly does give us a good picture of a bull market each time. And this one, we've got to see how this month goes. And if it closes above this level, the monthly, that's it. That's definitely a confirmation that we're looking at real high. So what we have at this point, for those who haven't seen it before, we have the 1, 2, Elliott wave, 3, 4 potentially, and 5. Could be the 21618. So this is my thinking as well. So we had the 1.618. This extension here, we could have that. So 120K. We can also have this one here, which is 84, 85, the 1.618 extension. So I'm looking at something like that at the moment as my targets for this bull run. So assuming things go that way. Let's see, and we've got this chart as well. I'll give you another perspective, what can potentially happen. Let's get the weekly out. This channel. I'll fix it up a bit. Not quite there. So getting the bottom, just scrape the bottoms and the tops. No, I didn't want that. Far out. This one here. Come on. So if this was to go sideways a lot, then we can see what, I'll just hide that for a sec. And what the real bullish scenario, real bullish scenario could be something like this. So what did we have? We had a bullish candle on the monthly around here. Actually, let me do it again. I'll get the monthly first. So the monthly, that was a monthly. So we've got this candle here. And so we can actually might use this one here from there to there. Okay, so now we'll go to the weekly. And just stretch that out. So you can see how using this method, one guy's talked about 1 million. So if this was to play this role and go along this trajectory, not too fast, not too quick, then we can potentially see this happening as well. So the other one is really very quick, which is like that. Or really something like that where we meet halfway along this line here. And the next level before it pulls back, that's around 120 again. So that's going off target, but that's what's happening with Bitcoin long term. Monthly, we're looking for the monthly confirmation, and we need to see this break this level. All right, so now let's move on to a few other short-term goals. Ethereum, I have this structure, which is you can argue that that's a a triangle, and we've broken out that triangle, and these are the targets based on the triangle formation as well as the fib levels, and you can have a screenshot on that, and I don't need to really explain it. So at the moment, Ethereum's hit its target, first target. So I can see it's a bit of a pullback there. If we look on the 12-hourly, you can see how that becomes relevant. So you get the wick, so it's hit the target. Where it's going to pull back, I'm not sure. So what we can do is use a fib level to assess roughly if it's got confluence, and I do see this area being strong support, that level there. So if the Ethereum was to come down just right there, it'll be a good spot to buy, which is about 2,400. So if we were to add, give me a sec. Is this Lucid? Lucid is still bullish, hasn't changed. If I was to add 12, moving to the cradle trade, again, actually this is 8 hour probably better. Yep, 8 hours. So my area of interest for Ethereum will be this area here. Looking for the cradle setup. Okay, so 8 hour. What we're looking for is a nice 8 hour candle, bullish 8 hour candle, and then signal. Look at the small time frames, and then up it goes more to the next target. So if you're interested in trading the cradle, this is the method. If I was looking at the 4 hour, actually 4 hours working as well, but I think the 8 hours is going to be suiting it better after if it breaks this level, which is so if price breaks this level, at the moment it hasn't. It's trying to do the cradle setup, and it might work here, by the way. So keep an eye on the 4 hour. Look for a green candle of a bullish nature, and the 4 hour will still work for the trend. So let's see the MACD. I need a MACD. Let me see this. Just going to confirm that there's no bearish divergence, or just give me a sec. Okay, so it's looking good. 4 hour chart is looking good actually for this to work. So now, if this crosses over, so we don't have a green candle, and if this crosses over, it's likely to become the 8 hour chart. And then I'll look at the 8 hour 10-20 moving average as a means of entry. So it could pull back. So 4 hour at a time, we wait. And this is my bullish perspective. Based on this structure, I do see it going up to 3,100 as the next local target before we have a bit of a pullback. Ethereum is really doing well against Bitcoin. So if I was to move that to the weekly, we can see from my chart that this line is acting as support, right? So it's acted as support or resistance a few times, and now it's acting as support there. So resistance, now support. So this trend, if that's broken, I do see this coming back down all the way down here. So I don't think that's going to happen. And if it does, that's more likely that Bitcoin or we fail at that main resistance. So for the time being, if you look at it from this perspective, we have this formation, higher lows and lower highs, and we had this breakout of this formation. Okay, you can say that's a wedge or a triangle, either way. We have this breakout, perfect entry. We found this area of resistance. Now it could pull back down to there and then back up. So against Bitcoin, this is Ethereum, Bitcoin pairing. So Ethereum is looking better to have. So I'm going to look for flipping rather than holding Bitcoin. So I'm going to look for an opportunity to flip most of my Ethereum now that I've got this on my radar. And the fact that we broke this decisively, this level will act like support and then potentially go up. So I'm looking at that for Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons why you should start looking to use Ethereum rather than Bitcoin. Okay, for those who are just interested in Ethereum, depending on your strategy, my target is up there. Long-term target on a weekly basis. So if I was to bring up my indicators, you can see I've got a few indicators that are really helping me out here. I'll just save this and I'll get rid of them. I got this line for the RSI, so it's acting as support. That supports that. I got the bottom turning on the weekly for the stochastic RSI, so that's a real good entry, almost a real good entry for Ethereum against Bitcoin. So I want to see this. So I have a crossover. So when I get this, so the candle needs, the weekly has to close this way before I'll jump in. So it's still not, we still got a bit more for the weekly, and so far I got this line that signals that is this vertical line signaling that there's a crossover, and you can see it. But if the week closes this way, then I definitely will put a significant number of my Bitcoin into Ethereum, and basically looking at what the charts are doing at the same time for confirmation. So that's a strategy that I'm looking at. Now let's move on to Link. Okay, 4-hour daily. So on the daily, you can see where we found support. Nice pullback, deep pullback actually. But you can see my main target was based on the my weekly lines. So if I go like this, so I use the body of the weekly candles. Here's a tip for you guys. Put the magnet on, get this, and you'll pick the body of the candle. Just the magnet will do that, or the wick. So the magnet does a real good job, and you can see. So if I get this one here, I want to use this one here. That's better there. It's on the way down, and on the way on the bounce, it was this one here. So you can see that on the weekly, it helps to find the range, and then I go to the daily, and then you can see how it comes to play. So this is our main resistance for Link, that range there, with the 2 weekly reference points. So which was the 0.618, perfect. So I did my fib extension using this low, high, low, 1.618, get a response perfectly. So Link is really abiding Fibonacci. All right, so I'm not really using the moving averages at this point, but now that we've got a trend, likely trend, I'll be using the daily 10 and 20 moving average, or probably the 4-hour. Let's see the 4-hour. 4 hours almost there. For those who want to learn this strategy, you can come to my website and subscribe, and I can do one-on-one, or you can look at the videos. Okay, so these strategies are well documented. I'm pretty comfortable showing people how to use them, and I can do one-on-one, or you can watch some videos, which is your pace. Okay, so the 4-hour is likely to fail, and then I'll look at the 8-hour. And so my 8-hour interest is pretty much this range here. And that, let me have a quick look. So we're looking for a nice setup for another entry. So I get my fib from there to there. I'll just make a basic setup. Perfect. So that is my range there. I'll probably look at that more so. Yeah, so that is what I'm looking for. Nice setup, nice cradle setup for another entry. We're back. I think we're back with the alts. It's looking really good. So those who have missed my early start, look at the early part of the stream, which looks at the Bitcoin dominance and total market cap. Okay, so that's Link. Someone's referred AXS. So let me see if I got my chart there. AXS. I'm looking for it. All right, I got to pull it out. So I had my guesses before, so that's what I thought might happen, but So I can get rid of that now. That was early days. So now we've got some information. Let's look at the 4 hour. So my blue box is what I had initially. So what we're looking at here, I would use this, actually it's not looking bad. Let's see. So we've got 2 reference points on the 4 hour. So that's a real bullish candle, isn't it? That's, so what we've got, 2 hours to go. All right. So the 4 hour chart's not quite, it's a bit ugly the way this is pulled back. So I said short if it comes from there. I didn't actually take this trade, but once it broke, you should have shorted on the retouch, and now it's gone down. So there was a quick opportunity there. I think this is another, I gotta get rid of the magnet, give me a sec. So that line, so that candle is a bit too bullish for my liking to enter at this point. So we have 2 hours to go to see how this goes, but I have a feeling that this is doing this. B, C, potentially, and then anyway, we'll see how that goes. So if I was to, it's an ugly chart, tell the truth. It's not one you can really work out. So it's broken this line, which is insignificant at the moment, or just a theory. So it had no impact, so I can get rid of that now. Yeah, so I'll look at this as support at the moment. Let me just put a fib level and see what happens there. Yeah, okay. I think this is going to range sideways. What we're looking for, what I'll be looking for is this to come back crossover. I like to see a crossover, and this potentially is a descending wedge. So it might be enough for it to break out on the 4 hour. So unless I got my lines wrong, let me see if there's another way. Yeah, it's pretty much, what I'll do is I'll make a parallel one as well. So I'll have a parallel one. So it might get rejected when it touches the top. This is not an easy one it's not giving us an easy method to trade. Yeah, so I'll have I'm not sure about this one because you can see it's once it's got a nice trend, it's good, but once it pulls back, it's a bit awkward. Let's look on the daily, see if there's any historical. Is that all? It's a new coin, isn't it? Ah, doesn't have any. Is it the only one? AXS, Axie. What else is there? Kraken, FTX. Is it all new? It's a new coin, isn't it? Yeah, I'll get onto the. I'm not really here to give lessons about indicators. Can you please check SXP? Yes, I can do that. So looking at this was a good opportunity to buy for the ones that saw it, but I wasn't keeping an eye on it. So that was a good chance, right? That was pretty much it. Yeah, this, we don't have much to go with. Give me a sec. If I was to use that, I'll use that as one. Let me just flip that. Okay. So using this method, this 3618 will probably be a good spot to enter if it pulls back from there to there, I think. So that's the daily. I don't want, I got the wrong one. Here we go. So similar to this, isn't it? A nice pullback. That green candle, you've got 2 hours for it to close on the daily. So I don't like what the MACD is doing here. I can see that there was a bearish divergence there, big time. So that's why we've got the pullback. So this could pretty much drop deep. So this could go up and then drop much more. Not an easy one to work out, sorry. Not comfortable with, because it's not pulling back much and you've got this strong candle, so it's deceptive. Very deceptive. So everything else is dropping. This might just keep going up. This is crazy. So yeah, it's a risk, because what you want to see is you want to see something. You want to see a pullback, you know, to the 10 and 20 moving average. And this is a 10 20 moving average on the daily, but the MACD is crossing over, which is not a good sign. So let's look at the 12-hour. So it's not really working for trend. And you can look at the MACD, it's like really going down, yet we're getting a green candle. How does that work? That's what's throwing me off at the moment. This MACD is definitely going down. This candle on the 12-hour is showing that this bullish candle is just stuffing it up for me. That's pretty much it. So my suggestion is that's the that's the range. If it comes down to this point, buy in. Otherwise, I'll stay away from it. That I think this is the range before it goes up. You might do a top. We haven't got enough information, but I will stick to that range if that helps. Okay, the candle pump up when Bitcoin goes down. Yeah, that's what's happening. But it's not a method of trading. Though. It doesn't fit into my strategy. You know that you can make assumptions, but it's not a strategy. So I would just use this range. So yeah, so I'll be looking for that spot there. If a wick will be nice there, but this 361, this this fib level gives me confidence. So these fibs are working well. Let me try one more method. So the extension pretty much hit the, oops, didn't want that. So let's see what that does. Just hide that. Okay, so it's almost hit the 3618 level. So is this working? Yeah, it's probably working. So if I go to the wick to it, it'll be perfect. So the 1.414 extension was a resistance. This is in no man's land. I think what it's doing, I'm spending a bit too much time on this. I think it's doing and then up. So we're looking for the impulse. So I want to see something like that come. Yeah. Anyway, that's the best I can do on this one. This one's a bit ugly. All right, now let me look at other comments. Yes, it's a popular game. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I probably did come across it. So, all right, candle pump. All right, so let me look at any other comments. And let's look at YouTube if there's any comments there. No comments, all right. Let's look at, here's one of my favorites. TrueBit. Just a refresh. TrueBit's doing well. So it's pulled back a bit. So, okay. So you can see TrueBit. I'm going long with this one. Missed that entry at 18 cents. Or actually, I did bid by 19 cents or so. So this one is looking good. Going long with TrueBit. Historically, you can see what it's done, bottoming down there, and this could go. We're looking at 50 times. So this could go from 20x to 50x is the expectation. If this market is a bull run, this TrueBit is going to be going crazy. So it's one of those ones that I'm looking at. For start, I had it's dumping again, is it? Okay, so there was a capitulation there at one stage. I missed that opportunity. So look at this volume. So let's see, 14 days. That here, right here, there was a, with the hack on a thorn, this capitulated, and you can see the volume, significant volume buy up. So that was an opportunity to buy, because any hacks, those gaps or those holes or vulnerabilities are usually fixed quickly, and then it goes up. So it similar to Ripple when it got taken to the SEC, it dumped big hard, and now look at Ripple. It's going really good. So I think this one's another one to go with. If you bought that, you've been really lucky. That was like less than a cent, and it's already, what is it, 15 cents. So these are the ones you want to capture, making big money. All right, so let's look at another one, SXP. Okay. Go with NEO for those into the stock market. NEO is China's car manufacturer against Tesla. So SXP. All right, so this is my old chart, and oh, come all the way down. So you had a cup and handle, and then okay, so didn't quite make it to my top line, did it? Based on the structure, anyway. So this, looking at this, it's just done, I believe, a key level. That was a key level. So it's broken it decisively. Perfect. So that pullback, that just went crazy. What? 4 hours ago? That's crazy. Oh, it's pulled back again. Ah, bummer. So I got a rejection. That was a key level, in my opinion. So it's still, let's go there. So yeah, so we can see that that's another resistance level right here. Let's make that clear. So that's a weekly resistance in my mind. I'll probably check that. So right now, it's accumulation phase really. So it break. So anyone familiar with the bump and run strategy? It didn't quite retest. So it didn't quite retest this. It might. So it might retest this trend line, which is not bad. So this actually looks like a cup as well. Handle and then up. So this is a perfect area to enter. If this pulls back any further down here, this is a perfect area to enter. This fib level as well, along this trend line, or this main resistance and support, that's a perfect spot to enter. Thanks for giving me that. Now I got something to look for. Definitely, it might not make it. That's the problem. So it's done it here at the moment. So that's why bullish candle. So what's Bitcoin doing? For these guys to go up, Bitcoin, no, it hasn't moved. Bitcoin hasn't moved up. It's finding support, which is okay. Okay. So let's look. So this could be a nice cradle. So, okay, I could see resistance here though. So now, if this regains above this level, get rid of your shorts. Let's go small time frame. Because it does that too. So we had this line of support. It's done. It's, we can see that it's been a support a lot of the times, and now it's finding it a support. It might not go down. So we're looking at this formation, but this formation could be. It's just at this point, it's just a theory. That line, and this line doesn't really have significance. So if I get rid of that, it's still, yeah, I can still see it being pulled back though. So what I do see here, we break this level. This level here is resistance. So historically, you can see along here is resistance. This might just hit there. So this area is a good area to short for further downs for the short term. So I do see this area for shorting. This bounce is probably a good spot to buy because it's finding support. But we've broken this trend line and this form, and it's a wedge at the end of the day. Significant wedge. So I do see this coming down probably to this level here initially, and then second to that level, or just above this part here. So I do see that happening for Bitcoin. So SXP will probably align itself with that. So maybe up and then back down. So it might just range in here before it goes up. Yeah, I think that might be the case. So what it's doing is consolidating under major resistance. So it got a nice rejection. That's a shame. If we landed on top, it would have been good, but it's already gone down. So bit of a fake out. So consolidation before it goes up. That's my XXP thoughts. Your thoughts on XXP till the end of the year? Okay. XXP is a bit nasty if you can look at it. So if you look at this, the good thing about the XXP here, so if I save this before I do some scribbling, let's have a look at what I'll do. I don't think we'll get the same response, to tell the truth. I'd never know. See how nasty it is, the way it wicks up and down? It's not clear, SXP, like the other charts. If I put on log, the log doesn't really help either. It's just all over the place. It's not clear where your Elliott waves work with. So I don't see going, I might just see doing a double top. So for the time being, up to there, really, this range. That's up to 1 is my short-term goal target, a double top. So long term and something like that, it could probably overperform, and 1.618 is $9 close to $10, somewhere around there is what I'm looking at. Now, what's holding it back? Well, that's a strong resistance, that level here, from this top to that top. That is a strong resistance. Do we have anything else? Yeah, you can imagine that. Going long after that. So if we get long term wise, if you're going hodl HODL methodology, something like that, that will be huge. So I do see a rejection, and then support, and then a massive breakout. That's when you go long, right here. If it breaks that, fantastic, but I think it'll pull back a bit before he does that massive massive run. So then this does work. So this method does work. There. Yeah, that will work for sure. Extension wise, and then it's really all these free 618 levels. Each one could. So it's new. It's price discovery. It's going to be hard to figure out where it's going to go. One of the methods that we use is the height and to the breakout. That's not going to give us a ratio. So that's the immediate target for the structure. But I would use these fib extensions, 2, 3, 6. All these are relevant. And depending how the formation takes place, if it's a parabolic phase, so if I was to give you an example of a parabolic phase, let's see, what was a nice parabolic phase? Give me a sec. Poles, all right? That's a parabolic phase. So we might be just here for SXP. So something around here, so you can do that in the long term, but we need to see these formations take place, base 1, base 2, base 3. We don't have that here, not yet. So it's a very different chart compared to this parabolic run. Anyway, that's what I got. Your thoughts about, yep. Your picks till year end to get maximum possible profits. Okay, we'll talk about that a bit later. My picks. So let's look at. Here's one thing that you guys should benefit from. As a trade, I don't know what exchange you trade on, and the other one I'll do is. Let's see, I haven't seen this for a while, so that'll be interesting. Okay, so that one, not interested. The bear. Why is bear? All right. I want a bull. Okay. Thought I saved it. Didn't save it. Okay. The reason I'm showing the bull coins is your gains are very significant. So I'll give you an example. From the bottom to there is 173%. Where if I look at Bitcoin, there it is. There's my chart. Okay. Bugger. Let's change that around. Save that. So if I do BTC, let's do that. Let's compare the both, right? Bitcoin gains versus bull gains. Yep, 186%. Bitcoin gains, 42%. So if you're going to trade, it makes sense to trade with FTX and bull. Okay, so you want to maximize your gains. Pick the bull coins or the coins that you're likely to trade. So you get much more returns. Obviously, this is more leverage trading in a way, futures in a sense. This is just so if you're going to buy Bitcoin on its own, and without leverage, you only get 42%. With the bulls, you get 3 times as long, as well as if it drops, you lose 3 times as much. So that's the risk. Then you got your leverage trades as well. So that's a strategy that you should think of. I'll be looking for an entry soon now. Fortunate enough to get some of it down here. I'm looking for a nice entry for this pullback, and that's what I really want to go along with. I got to play it safe. So what we're having here is a wave trend almost confirming on the daily, a crossover. And in the past, crossovers on the way up can continue on. So this could be a bounce, to tell the truth. This might not cross over and just keep going up, which is likely to happen. So at the moment, you can see here, Bitcoin is finding support. So if this turns out to be a green, so if this turns out to be a small red candle, I dare say that is our, it's going to be crazy, but that might be the deepest pullback we're going to get. That's crazy. I got to see this. Just doesn't. I can't understand why it's so bullish. It's not even. I'm not selling, so I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that's the reason. No one's willing to sell. So I got the formation, but the formation might not work. So we've got that wedge, but so we have that. Anyway, we've got to see this, but it looks like it's finding good support on the 4-hour. So we need to see how this takes place. If you get a green candle like this on the 4-hour, something this kind of setup over here, this is just going to go up potentially. I'm still thinking there's resistance here. I still think that will drop, but this is going to show a strong support. You can see it. Many 4 hours just played support, and then as soon as it dumped it, look at it, went up. So yeah, the 4 hours still might be the way to trade this. You might not get to the 10-20 moving average. Bummer. So that sucks. All right. Luna is one of my coins. Beautiful. That was my resistance box, and I was hoping that it will pull back down to these 20 moving average. So we've got a crossover as well. So Luna, like you can see how Luna went crazy from the early days. So this is very parabolic. That's, what was it? Far out. That was 7,700 gain from September 20, Luna. So to me, this looks like just a nice deep pullback. This is just gonna, yeah, Luna is one of my favorites. So I do have Luna. If you guys are asking, I do have I do have Link. I do have Ethereum and ADA. Let's see what else we got. Ave. I had a lot of Matic, and I pulled back because it pulled back too much. But Ave is pretty good, as you know, Ave is also competing with a decentralized exchange. So, but Ave looks good because the chart makes sense. So if I look at the Ave from a wave perspective, the correction, you can see, if you can probably see it on the daily, but I'm not sure. So my ABC correction, very similar to Bitcoin, and then this horizontal resistance, yeah. So it's pulled back, so I've got to lift that up a bit more to that level. Okay, so that level there, perfect. That candle, so that's a level to pass. Now, based on I'm hoping to pull back. This is the blue box I'm hoping to pull back to for my entry. That's what I'm thinking. But if it doesn't, that's a shame. And that's based on the structure, the breakout, that's the target, 1.618 extension, third target. That's what I'm looking at before there's a major pullback around here. Yep. So let's see, where am I? Yep, there we go. So that's what I have for AVE at the moment. But this pullback, the alts are going really well, so it's not going to be easy to figure it out. Let's look at Matic. Actually, let's look at Balancer here. Balancer's got this formation on my chart, as you can see. It's found its resistance on the 0.618 extension, so it's not as aggressive. So that's my summary of, and you can see how it's topped with the stochastic RSI. Let's look at, we did look at Link. Matic, did we look at Matic? So Matic, what I'll do is so I've got a lot of history on Matic, my trades. Matic went very bullish, as you know, and they've done very well when you look at it. This sideways is reaccumulation to me. It does smell like Wyckoff strategy. So this range, yeah, I'm streaming, babe. I'm looking at the time. So if I was to clear all that, let me just do this, get a second tool in place. So I get the pen. You can see lines of reference, and you can see why there was resistance, and it broke that. So this was pretty much expanding wedge and a breakout. So I see it going like that for some. That will be the next resistance level. Once it breaks that, I see it going really crazy. So clear that. Let's put the lines back in. So what I need to do is slightly adjust this. So I might have, because the wicks do play a hand, so that's my reference one. I might, so it's very hard to find the top reference. So what you do is you jiggle it a bit and you get your reference point. So that's my 618 level. Let's just get rid of that. So that was definitely an area to play. And the reason why I'm doing this is the areas that it's touching are usually the targets. So that's a target, that's a target, that's a target. And if that's touching that, that could be a target too. So I do see that confluence. That's the initial target, main target there for Matic. And then ultimately this is the main target here, I think. So somewhere around there, which is about $2.30 or something. I see that as the main target based on this structure. Makes sense? It's not the best descending wedge, but it is, again, a trend line that you can use as a reference point. As confluence with Fibonacci. I haven't put the moving averages in there. Let's see what's happening there. I need the weekly. Let's have a weekly. No. So if I get these weekly moving averages. Okay, so that's 20s It's already underneath. Let's see the 50. So this is the 50 on the 4 hour. Okay, we want to see the daily. Okay, so the 50 daily is playing resistance. And if I do the EMA on the daily, let's see the weekly. Daily. Okay, so the 20 and the 50 EMA on the daily, it's not going to really help us because they're going to start acting as support. At the moment, that we can see the resistance and the support. So we're seeing this compression really. That's why it hasn't really broken up yet. It's finding a lot of moving averages acting as restriction. I think the bots will be looking at that as hard to trade. So if we look at that to the previous high, and if I get rid of that wick, yeah, you can see it's close enough. So if it's that previous high, yeah. So I'm using this previous high there as a reference. 0.382 comes fluent. If I go a bit higher, that's acting as support. So yeah, the Fibonacci's are aligned, so I'll use that. Okay, so you can see from swing high to swing low, my fib level of 0.236 is right in the middle of all that. This 618 is the macro one, so that's why it's acting as resistance. So we've got this compression. We've got this compression happening, and eventually it's just going to break up. If the moving averages go below it, perfect. So if these moving averages keep dropping below the price, then it's going to push it up. Okay, so that's my Matic perspective. I know a lot of people will be interested in Matic, and I'm interested in Matic, but right, I'm not quite there yet. Let's see Matic with against Fing, but Matic against Bitcoin. You can see it's going sideways, really. So there's no incentive to jump in yet for Matic with your Bitcoin. Not really, because we have mixed messages at the moment. Is it time yet? No, I don't think it's time. If there's anything there, not really. Let's get the wicks. The wicks. So it's not quite there yet. This is not showing me anything bullish. It's really going sideways at the moment. So Matic's is a slow starter. That's my thinking against Bitcoin. Looking at these daily indicators, there's slightly upward momentum, like you can see that, and this is slowly coming up. But there's other coins that are doing better in performance. There might be a point where it accelerates, but at this point there isn't. So I'll just save that. I'll close that. I've got too many windows open. We did Luna, didn't we? So Luna is dropping. Let's say Luna against Bitcoin. I didn't do that. You want me to look at any other coins? Let me know. So Luna's going really good against Bitcoin, especially in the short term, and I think it'll keep going. Let's just add the FX to it. So if I look on the daily on this one, that's very aggressive. That's pretty nice. Look at that, like a round bottom. So when you see something like that, it accelerates. It's not this could accelerate really strongly. So I think because of this dump. So would it hit a resistance here? Yeah. So it's currently it's hit that fib level there. It's finding resistance at the moment. The MACD is upward still looking good. Phoenix is looking upwards as well. So this is going to keep going. So if you're interested in Luna, it's better to have Luna than Bitcoin. Definitely. And if I was to add, where's my 10-20 moving average? I'm looking at that. Ever so the 10 daily moving average seems to be a good point to enter. Right now, it's moving strongly because it's done the cradle setup was there, big move. Is it going to pull back to that level? If it does, I'll jump in. Definitely. So if right there, that looks like a nice spot to, yeah. So based on previous, so you can see here a lot of support and resistance here. So that is a good spot to buy with the pullback. So that area is looking from historical perspective, area of demand. So I might just put a reserve price for it to go up. So definitely Luna is one of those ones that is going very strong. If I look at this height, that might be the target, ever so slightly, using that structure. Yeah, could be a bit more. So I've got a bit more to go for that target. So that's the target there. Makes sense. And just the last bit to it, Fibonacci. I reckon it's 1, but where is it? Where's 1? Don't have 1 there. That's a 1 already resistance. So where's 1.72272? Okay. None of it's in there. That's interesting. So it's hit one of the main targets, which is the 1. The next one is here. So I won't use that structure. I'll just use these fib extensions for the time being. From there, swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. If I use that wick, yeah. So the 1, that's why we got the rejection at 1. So and then the next target area for the pairing is this range, really. 1272 to 1618, which is a double top, or you can say that there. That's what it's looked like. Yeah, looking good. Luna. If if you don't have any questions, I've been online for how long? 54 minutes. Okay. I'm just going to have a quick look at my shortlist I had. Give me a sec. Okay. Sol. Let's look at Sol. Sol's doing what the others are doing as well. Okay. So some of them are pulling back. Sol's done a nice bump and run strategy as well there. So now it might come back down to retest this level. That'll be nice. I would say that that will be my entry point if it pulls back that far. And you might pick up some strategies here, guys. I'm not going to explain them. If you pick them up, good for you. Okay, so we can see confluence with those numbers there. This area is looking good. So we already hit this area. The 4 hours not quite my thing. I think the 8 hours better. Yeah, the 8 hours better. Looking for an entry. Look for the, so what we have is 5 hours to go for this candle to close. If I was to switch this to the 4 hour, whoops, sorry. So I could do a comparison. And against Bitcoin, it's starting to move against Bitcoin, so that's all right. It's doing well there. But it hasn't broken that key level. Doesn't look like it. So Sol is a bit too early to flip over. I'm not comfortable flipping over yet. I want to see evidence that it is doing well. At the moment, it's still in a downtrend. That's pretty much it. It needs to break that level, break that previous high. So it needs to close above that previous high here. And it hasn't. Actually, this one here. So I want to see it close above this for me to feel confident that the trend has changed on the 4 hour. If I look on the daily wise, it's yep, good move. You see why on the 0.5 Fibonacci it's finding resistance. It's a strong resistance at the moment, so I like to see it go past this level. Yeah, for me, I like to see it go above that level, daily close above that, and I'll be happy. But that band is going to be the resistance for Sol against Bitcoin. So I like to see it break that, and potentially maybe break this trend line as well to feel comfortable. Yep. So no incentive to jump in a lot into Sol yet. If I'm looking at the strategy. What else do I have? Let me save that. Just going to go quickly through them. These are all my alerts against Bitcoin. They're all dropping. So you can see a lot of the alts are dropping against Bitcoin at the moment. Oh, sus. What's sus? It's going good against Bitcoin. But that historically, okay, bit of a round bottom, isn't it? And if that's a daily, oh, look at that bullish. So that's pretty a bullish divergence there, that's for sure. That's why we got that move. So we've got all this, but we got that bullish divergence. So SUS is going to probably go well against Bitcoin. Is it overextended? Yes, at the moment it is. So what I do, I like what I see, but it's probably got low liquidity. But it's one to factor in. It's broken that level, that channel pretty much. And anyway, it's something to keep an eye on. I'll look into it later. Ion. Yeah, so we're having a few of them pulling back at the moment against Bitcoin. Let's see that. That wasn't the chart I wanted. My area of interest, where is it? Shortlist. Okay. You can see them pulling back a lot now. Bitcoin Cash, what do you expect? Always pulling back. Good to short. Let me see if I'm shorting. Yep, my shorts. ETC I'm shorting. So where's ETC? Currently shorting ETC. Yeah, nice. Okay, so it's gone above my main target. So it's done well, and I thought, okay, there is that line there. So it did break it. It slightly went up, but that's fine. So I'm shorting this. I do see it struggling to get back up. So here's one support. I do think it will go down a bit more, but never knows. I think it will bounce to this main resistance level. Bounce, and then a bit further down. Or a lot of the coins could do this as well. So we don't know. So could do this before it goes down to test the thing and then back up again. So if you look at this, we had a nice move. So it's a 1, 2, 3, and then up. So that strategy is very useful. So this might be the case what's taken place with a lot of the coins. Something FUD, BTC dump, haha. Yeah. Not really. It was due for. You know what? They people when Bitcoin's due to drop because it's overextended, this FUD comes out. Sorry if you can hear too much noise. My wife's vacuuming. But okay. So it's fine support there. It was meant to break down. We've been talking about the level as it is. So I've been talking about it. Even if you look at my theme chart, it's been there for a while. What we have as a strategy, guys, you get this 1, 2, 3, and then dump. So bigger picture. For those that haven't seen it before, FUD. FUD comes out when it's 1, whoops, yeah, 1, 2, 3, down. Miniature version. They're trying. The FUD came out here. The FUD came out here. It was meant to drop. So be careful what you what you read on. Don't give credit to those people that make it like their tweets change the market. They don't. Many of them, many of the charts say it's going to drop, and I've pretty much shown you that where the key resistance levels are and so on. So these charts do prove themselves. Here's one thing you guys should know. So this is my exchange. So there is if you look at BTC, I think it's 1. Is it 1? Exclamation? No. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me look at CME charts. Can't remember what the abbreviation was. Is it .1? No. I'll have to go back. Give me a sec. Complete. Where's the CME? CME. It's never easy to find the buggers. Coinbase. I'm looking for the gap. Okay. It's not on that chart, is it? So it's the other complete. Let's see. Another, let's see. Come on. Where's the CME chart? Okay, I haven't touched it for a while. I'm losing it. Here's a chart I like. Okay, CME gap. Okay, that's not the one. PTC. Surely not that. Dominance. Is it that one? Guys, do you know which one to CME chart? Keep forgetting where it is. Bugger. Because it actually gives you a different chart. The lines are different. I thought I had it here. So the shorts are really low. So no, the shorts are really low and the longs are dropping as well. Okay. That's weird. The longs are dropping and the shorts are dropping. Okay, that makes sense because they've been wrecked. I can't find my CME chart. Okay. BTC, CME. Actually, got the CME. None of you know CME chart? Actually, I might just do Bitcoin, huh? Probably this will give it to me. Far out. I'm getting old. Here we go. That's the one. Why didn't it come up before? Okay, that was our resistance line. There you go, drops there. Ah, there you go, there's a gap. CME gap. Wonder if we go down, it could go down later. But what you see, what the point I'm trying to make here is where is it? Where is it? It's not actually. So if you look at this chart, the CME chart, it doesn't overextend. Like, so if I was to get another chart, give me a sec. You've got to be careful with some of the charts that you look at. And if I use Bitcoin, I don't know. So that's the daily. You can see there's a difference in the charts and the levels. So this one touches all the way through, this one doesn't. This one falls short. And even the formations in many areas fall different. So the charts vary a lot. So here you've got the CME dropping all the way down to 47,000 here, 49,000. So at the bottom of the candle. So CME has much more volume than some of the exchanges as well that we pick on. So you've got to be careful how you, there's detail to it. So here, for instance, if I use that red candle there, let's do that. That was the resistance. If I use this red candle, you can see how much it's gone up. And this one is Coinbase. So this one's more of a resistance. I think this one's more accurate. This one's over performance. If I look at that, I shouldn't have done that, shouldn't I? Let's go back one. Yep. So CME, I'll put that there. Anyway, let's look at the US dollar, see if it's doing anything at the moment. No, so US dollar's dropped a lot, which is good for Bitcoin. So US dollar is broken out of that wedge, really, and it's dumped. So Bitcoin is done the opposite. US dollar drops, Bitcoin goes up. Beautiful. Let's hope this keeps dropping. Sorry guys in the US, but let's hope let's hope it keeps dropping. Bitcoin keeps going up. So this goes down and this goes up. Yeah. This goes up roughly, in this case, around the same time. This goes down up to a point. So there's some correlation. So when between here, right there, and there, dollar went up, Bitcoin went down, Bitcoin went up. There's some correlation. I'm not saying all the time. This went down. Interesting, isn't it? So here it's dropping, US dollar, and Bitcoin's been riding up. So that's a good sign. And if you look at this, it's done the double bottom. And the stock market's the same as well. So you've got to be careful. Got to keep an eye on both at the same time. So that's done a double bottom. I'm just hoping it doesn't continue. This is a continuation to the downside, not a double reversal. So that's my concern with the US dollar. Let's just hope it doesn't. Let's hope it just keeps going down. So this is a strong support level for the US dollar, and that was probably the reason we dropped. Actually, not the reason. This was a local top, which is a fib extension. Just coincidence that the US dollar is doing the same, but there's correlation. If this goes sideways, I think Bitcoin will keep going up. Looking at SP 500, let's have a quick look on that. Let's just see the general stock market, what it's doing, and then there you go, artificial pump. It's just stock market's just going up, which is good. So Bitcoin should be going up as well with them. Nasdaq is going up. Look at that. Print the money and buy stock. Beautiful. So the markets aren't really profiting. The businesses aren't profiting, but look at the stock market. Just there's going to be for sure a big correction soon. Maybe here, but no logic. So we do see a bearish divergence kicking in on the stock market now. So on the daily, on the Nasdaq, let's see SP 500. It's been going against gravity. All right, I think I'm done. Link bull. Okay, link bull's not that bad. Great. Link is good. Not sure if I missed anything, but that's all I've got, guys. If there's any questions, please raise it now. Otherwise, I'm pretty much going to close it off. Last check on Bitcoin. Here we go. So to me, it's broken a key level, a key trend line, and it doesn't look like it's going to hold. And my area of interest is the yellow box, 37, 36, 34 to 36, that range. This range here is my area of interest. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely, if you look at the daily, we had a lot of green runs maybe four red candles before we see a bullish candle. We've got to see this, how this closes off for an entry. But yeah, at the current moment, this moving average is holding it up. I'm not sure what that is. That's the 20 EMA on the weekly. So that's currently holding it up as support. If it breaks that, it's going to go down to this level here, my yellow box. So those are my thoughts at the moment. Area of interest to buy. Nice crate. Actually, that wasn't it. That's the lowest. This is the range that I'm interested in there. Okay. So I'll wrap it up, guys. Have a good day. Enjoy and take a break. Well, the market pulls back. You've got another 4 hours to see what's going on. Thanks for joining. And please give me a like and share. And I'll talk to you soon again. Cheers.